When it comes to getting the federal government involved in education reform, merit pay is definitely the wrong way to go. Test scores and student performance is a bad indicator of teacher performance. Other things affect student performance, such as their home life, their willingness to be in the class, whether they like the class or not. And it's not fair for the teachers of these students to be faulted based on these. Also, it would not be fair for teachers teaching in continuation schools or teachers teaching for disabled students, because if they would be based on the same criteria as this other schools in their district, that just wouldn't be fair. Stephen D. Levitz, author of Freakonomics and Economics, proved that teachers in the Chicago school district were involved in merit pay altered their test scores to influence their salaries. This is similar to a case in Atlanta where cheating schools received around $500,000 in bonuses over a few years. There were 44 schools involved in this cheating, which was 180 educators and 38 principals that would fill in test scores for students that weren't there so that they would get better pay, or they would go as far as having test score changing parties at their houses where they would fill in the answers for tests so that they could get higher bonuses. This also occurred in Houston, and there were allegations of it happening in Washington, D.C. So, actually, merit pay does not. It was also found to just not increase student performance as well. Like, besides the scandal fact, the National Center on Performance Incentives at Vanderbilt University examined 300 middle school math teachers over a 3-year randomized experiment called the POINT experiment, which stands for Project on Incentives in Teaching. The actual experiment was from 2007 to 2009, and the full complete study took place over 2005 to 2010. Half of the 300 teachers were eligible for $15,000 bonuses a year, played off of each other's test scores, and the other half were in a control group where they were not eligible for bonuses. And it showed that the merit pay failed to increase student performance. There's a few possible reasons for this. There's possible that the teachers are already working at their hardest right now, so that they cannot possibly increase it or work any harder than they are. Other things were saying that the incentive is just not enough for teachers to feel that they should work very hard. And a third possible reason is that these students gained no reward. They weren't getting anything out of it, so therefore they had no reason to increase their performance because there's no benefit to them. So merit pay just isn't the right way to go when you're trying to deal with education reform. Also, you said that the government is spending $500 billion on education, but that is false because according to usgovernmentspending.com, the federal government is only projected to spend $58.1 billion on secondary and primary education for 2014, and the federal government's total contribution, I think where you were getting is that the $500 billion is spent per year on education. So the federal government is already contributing 10.8% of that. We cannot expect the government to get any more involved in education reform because that would trample on the rights of the states. The 10th Amendment states that powers not delegated to the government or denied to the states are reserved to the states respectively, and education is not mentioned within the Constitution, therefore that is delegated as the responsibility of the states. So we cannot say that the federal government needs to get any more involved or be in control of primary or secondary education reform because it's not constitutionally their responsibility. Anything that needs to be done or can be done should be filtered through the states. It should be on a state-by-state basis. We can't have a uniform objective of where we want everyone to be at, but I don't think it's the job of the federal government to take over in any way or project themselves onto a state responsibility. So, just to recap, the reasons that merit pay is not good, a good alternative to current systems is because it does not improve teacher quality as it is thought. It actually encourages cheating, test score altering, scandals, widespread scandals where the children's education is not what's being focused on. It turns the importance onto the teacher's pay or what they want to get, so the teachers will do anything to get that and bypass their actual job, which is giving quality to the students. And also, the government is already fully or involved enough in education, 10.8%. We cannot expect them to get more involved and trample on the rights of the state.